Made it to Circle City, and I got my trailer all set up. Gonna head down and see what the boys are doing in the pit area. Welcome back to Team Ez TV. We have an exciting night of racing. We're first night of Midget Week with the Usac National Midgets. We got the 7X, and we drew a 2, which is always nice. A lot of the times, you're only as good as your draw, and we drew a 2, so it would be one of the first cars out, so no excuses there. I don't even have the cameras on the car. I better get to it. Hey, thanks again for watching. Going to get some engine heat.
Keep it out of gear, Phil.
You know, when I first started racing midgets, there was some old guys, and you had to be 18. Dennis Johansson, I think, was his name. And man, that guy would ride me so hard just because he wanted the racing to be good, okay? And so we've kind of, I feel like we've lost a little bit of the sportsmanship in racing, especially in this class. You know, typically, if you get underneath a guy, that lane is his, but nowadays, it's a chop game, you know? And I like to race looking ahead and on offense, not defense.
Good, bud.
Thank you. This is Caden Manders. He's from Australia, and he's got a GRD Chevy motor. It'll be interesting to see how, well, it looks like both the cars do. Be interesting to see how good the Chevy runs. All right, we are rolling on the track for practice, and the name of the game in this is just to find the gear we need. That looks pretty nice. Circle City. Don't feel like Knoxville. The straightaways at Knoxville are the same length as this entire track. Lap, go get one in a second.
Next driver onto the speedway out of San Jose, California. Training time between midget and sprint car racing this season. The Machine and Tool Team Ez TV Sure-Built Suspension High Performance Lubricant Standing for number 7X. It's Team Ez Thomas Meserol. Thomas Meserol in the 7X. Weekly competitor up at the Knoxville Raceway here in 2025. Looking at his USAC record here during Indiana Midget Week competition. 45 career, 8 feature starts, and a pair of wins. All the way back in 2021 at Paragon, in 2022 at Tri-State. Comes around on his opening lap at a 12.863, 12863 seconds for Thomas Meserol. Brings it off at turn number 4 on the throttle here as he stops the clock. Even better, 12.745. Still second quick, better on time. Not positioned for Thomas Meserol. All right, we just got done with qualifying, and man, the thing felt really good.
It did everything it was supposed to. If anything, we could have had the right rear underneath it a little bit more, maybe, but it felt great. It was on the chip like we were supposed to have it, and everything was really good. And I don't really know where we are on the board. And honestly, like, been putting the race car on the pedestal all year long and really getting myself down on our finishes, because our finishes are my performance. But at the end of the day, I'm driving somebody else's race car out here living my best life, and I forget that sometimes. Like, live your best life. Don't stress yourself out because you're not fast the way you expect to be. I'm doing the best I can, you know? Like, when guys jump me on the starts, I'm pushing the pedal down as soon as they leave. I promise you that. If they drive away, I don't know why, but I've been really kind of hard on myself this year, and I'm, you know, not having as much fun because my results haven't been amazing. And I told the boys there, I said, hey guys, this week we're coming to the racetrack. We're gonna give 110% every single night. We're gonna have fun, and we're gonna do it as a team. Nothing else matters. We're here, we're doing what we want to do. It's just, we expect to be the fastest car on the track, and it isn't always like that, so.
All right, we're rolling out for the heat race.
So on those previous laps, Jacob Boxell had been occupying the lower side of the racetrack, keeping some of those cars like Jacob Denny behind him. So we'll see what changes up on this restart as Thomas Meseraull goes to the middle part of the racetrack.
Single file past the NOS Energy start can, and they will fan out from there. A thank you to Mr. Verma coming up and getting the screen on the back straightaway sorted out. It had decided to freeze up on us. So the fans in the stands were looking at a lineup for the last 8 laps, but now they're able to see what's going on here as Thomas Meseraull leads the way. Edwards running in second. Boxell had been running in third. He's going to get slipped back to 67, and Jacob Denny able to work by that JBL Audio KKM Kerbigatanian entry. And now Boxell can have his teammate knocking on the door here. Here comes Kevin Thomas Jr. in that 14. He's going to try to get a 2-for-1 deal. He's got one, couldn't quite get the other.
Thomas, you were kind of dealing with the dirty track. How crucial was it to get out early from the start?
Yeah, it was very crucial. You know, my guys said that I needed to run the bottom, but this thing felt really good just ripping laps around the top. I seen Denny down there and moved down, and we picked off a win. So hats off to my guys back in the pits. You know, the Ford is ripping tonight, and really want to thank everybody watching, and especially everybody in the grandstands. We love seeing people in the stands.
Alrighty, Team Ez is your Heat 2 K1 race year winner.
So we just got done with the heat race, and I was checking the tire temp, and it was like 165 degrees. So you guys didn't see Sweet Springs video because I didn't make it, but we sealed the right rear over there, so we had a really good heat race, but I punished the right rear in order to make a transfer. We were really bad. I needed a transfer out of the heat race or I was gonna start really deep in the B. Well, I cooked the right rear. We didn't temp it, but it was really hot. You couldn't even touch it. This one felt pretty similar, and so I put a temp gauge on it just to check. It was 165 degrees. About 3 minutes after I ran, that's hot. I don't know if that's too hot, but you know, we're gonna start better because we won the heat race, so that was good. But ultimately, you have to race on the same tire here with Usac. And that changes, you know, like I was actually running the top, trying to not burn on the right rear because we have to run this tire for the feature. If I use it up in the heat race, we're pretty much junk. That's what happened at Sweet Springs. In case you missed it, and I know you did. When you're at the Usac races, free NOS. Get you some. All right, the question is, do I need to put tear-offs on this thing? It really depends on what kind of track work they do. Looks like I have, let's see, oh, that's at least 15, so that's probably not terrible. Donnie and Chuck got the super tune on the 7X. I think they slung a set of bars in the back, changed some stagger. This place is really slick tonight, so.
With the 4 wide salute to the fans, that means it is go time. Main event with the National Usac Midgets for 2025 Indiana Midget Week.
right, so we just got done with the feature, and man, we were holding our own. In the beginning, the car was so good. Like the first 10 laps up until that yellow, the car was so good, but it was almost too good early, and then it just kind of faded a little bit at the end. But this place was so dirty, and it was so dependent on leaning on the top, and we were running 10th, and no need to crash it on night one, running 10s on the fence. You know, like I was wide open into 3, and the curve was getting pretty big, and it was getting tricky. So I think I might have given away one spot going to the bottom last handful of laps. But came in, checked the right rear temperature. Right rear was 155.
That's a brand new one, right?
And that was like burning the tire off for the last handful of laps. And after the heat race, it was 165 3 minutes after I came in. So we came right in. I wasn't even out of the car. I had him check the temperature on the tire. You know, ultimately, this is just like knowledge that I haven't really inspected. You know, like felt like we lost a race, or we gave away a bunch of positions at Sweet Springs because we had a tire seal over. So then tonight, I was just on top of like how hot it was. And ultimately, if we could have got the tire above the 165 degrees, I would say without a doubt that this thing didn't seal the right rear over. But I really need to call Tony down at Hoosier. So I'm gonna put that on the notes. Call Tony at Hoosier tomorrow. We ended up 12th. Man, it has been just, it's so tough. I feel like the car was amazing in the beginning. The only place that I felt like we were a little off was the track slowed down so much in that feature. Even though we were running top to top, if the track time slowed down, the speed slowed down, and we weren't really into the chip on our gear. We were 85, 86. So I almost felt like it could have used some more gear. But that's just my opinion, you know, like, and it's a team effort over here. So we all need to agree on something before we make big changes. But hey, thank you so much for clicking on the channel. If you made it this far in the video, I thank you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We're off to Paragon tomorrow, and it's looking kind of like rain. So I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna edit this for you guys. Thanks again for watching. Thank you to Tim, Tammy, Tally Engler, and Dave and Chuck. I said Dave. Chuck and Donnie. Dave E-Step, you too. You too.